Hello, welcome once again to Leto's Law. I'm Steve Leto. I've been contacted twice in the last 24 hours. Two different guys contacted me from other ends of the country asking me about something I think is a scam. And that is where people say they're selling a rebuilt salvage vehicle that nothing is wrong with this car, nothing ever was. It was simply stolen. And because an insurance company had to pay it off, they had to deem it a total loss. Total loss becomes salvage. Take it to an auction and sell it. Guy buys it, goes nothing wrong with his car, and then just has a guy inspect it and get him a new title. And now, boom, you have a car that has this weird history of being stolen, but there's nothing wrong with this car. So it's actually worth almost full value, except for this little issue with the title. But that's been corrected. And it sounds too good to be true. And you know what they say about those. So I'll get to you first the examples. Eric back east said, Steve, this is on Craigslist locally. It's a car with a rebuilt title. And the ad includes a photograph of a signed notarized letter. And we know how valuable notaries are because they confirm that the person signing is in fact who they claim to be, which makes everything they write true. Joking. The signed notarized letter says, this car is stolen and recovered vehicle with absolutely no damage to the vehicle. Absolutely no damage to the vehicle. But it was in fact deemed salvage and then rebuilt salvage as a result. Someone else sent me a note and said, Steve, I ran across this ad for a car in Michigan with a rebuilt title, and the guy who's selling it claims it was a stolen vehicle with no damage. And since it happened in Michigan, I thought you might know about it. Well, you know, there's an interesting thing because I do know about Michigan law. I've done several videos on salvage vehicles also, and articles as well. And most people don't understand what it means to have a rebuilt salvage vehicle in their possession. Does not mean the car is safe to drive. Doesn't mean it's put back together again properly. It simply means that a state police officer inspected it and determined that none of the parts on the car were stolen and the car appeared to be complete. And he didn't even bother test driving it because that's not part of his job. So the question is, if a vehicle gets stolen and is deemed a total loss because it doesn't get recovered in time, and then the insurance company pays the owner for the vehicle, as a result, when the vehicle does get recovered, the insurance company gets ownership of the vehicle. Do they then say, well, the vehicle's totaled because we paid out a full claim on it. It must be totaled. And they then sell it as salvage? Let's talk about that. So again, all 50 states have got their own laws. That's what makes us unique and cute. Michigan's got laws that might not be the same as Wisconsin's. Idaho's laws, who knows? Illinois, Louisiana, they're all different. So you may want to look this up in your own state, but I'm going to explain to you Michigan's because this is a good example. Plus, one of the two I was asked about was in Michigan. So straight off the Michigan Secretary of State's website, which is our DMV. I'll put a link to the site below. A salvage title is issued for a vehicle that has become a distressed vehicle. A distressed vehicle. A vehicle becomes distressed when one or more major component parts have been wrecked, destroyed, damaged, stolen, or are missing to the extent that the total estimated damage is from 75 to 91% of its pre-damage cash value. Now, you may have heard the word stolen there and said, Steve, wait, I heard the word stolen. I heard the word, yeah, I read it to you. I heard it too. The thing is, it says, when one or more major component parts have been stolen to the extent that the damage is from 75 to 91%. If the whole car was stolen, that's 100%. Okay? They're saying it's from 75 to 91%. That'd be the half the car was stolen. No, that'd be 50%. 3/4 of the car was stolen. Okay? But not the whole car. The whole car would be 100%. So they're not referring to the whole car being stolen in this section. There's another section. We'll get to it. So the vehicle owner's insurance company will determine the amount of damage to the vehicle. The regular title is then replaced with a salvage title. In Michigan, those are orange. You can't miss them. A vehicle with a salvage title cannot be plated or used on public roads until it is recertified by a specially trained police officer and retitled. And you need to know that they simply certify the car has no stolen parts on it, and they check to make sure the car is complete. They check a couple things like make sure the brake lights work and make sure the muffler works. Okay, but they do not check its drivability. The car could go sideways down the road. They don't care. Car's complete with no stolen parts. You're going to get a rebuilt salvage title. So here's the thing. There's all kinds of laws that address how salvage titles vehicles get moved around because they don't want these things winding up back in the stream of commerce when there's major problems with them. And so they also don't want them going to chop shops. And like, for instance, you could take a wrecked vehicle and then steal a good vehicle and swap the VIN tags, things of that nature. There's all kinds of problems that can pop up. So they have all these laws about how they have to deal with these vehicles, including a lot of laws that have to deal with how insurance companies deal with them. So an insurance company acquiring ownership of a late model distressed vehicle through payment of damages must apply for an original salvage title using an application for original Michigan salvage title form, which is TR12, okay? So it talks about how they do this and whose name they put this in. But here's the question. What about the vehicle that gets stolen? What about that vehicle? There's actually a section right on point. When an insurance company pays a claim for a vehicle that has been stolen, the owner assigns the title to the insurance company. The insurance company becomes the owner of the vehicle. If the vehicle is recovered, the insurance company must apply for a salvage title if one or more major component parts are missing, destroyed, or damaged and not salvageable. This applies even if the estimated cost of repairs is less than 75% of the vehicle's pre-damaged value. So, catch that now. If the vehicle gets recovered, okay, the insurance company must apply for salvage title if one or more major component parts are missing, destroyed, or damaged, and not salvageable. But they don't have to apply for salvage title otherwise. So if nothing's wrong with the car in Michigan, they don't have to apply for salvage title. Now, just because I know some people want to ask me, they're going to say, wait, Steve, what is this major component parts stuff? Because if one or more major component parts are missing, destroyed, or damaged and not salvageable, they have to apply for a salvage title for the stolen car, regardless of the amount it costs to fix the major component parts. Major component parts in Michigan are defined by the Michigan compiled laws in the Motor Vehicle Code at, I feel like I'm a preacher here, laying down the good book, MCL 257-1302A. D, major component part means one of the following parts of a motor vehicle: the engine, the transmission, the left or right front fender, the hood, a door allowing entrance to or egress from the passenger compartment of the vehicle. So we're not talking about fuel doors. The front or rear bumper, the right or left rear quarter panel, the deck lid, tailgate, or hatchback, the trunk floor pan, the cargo box of a pickup, the frame, or if the vehicle has a unitized body, the supporting structure or structures that serve as the frame, the cab of a truck, the body of a passenger vehicle. Those are all major component parts. So, if the vehicle gets stolen in Michigan and one of those major component parts gets damaged to the point that it cannot be fixed, then the vehicle, if stolen, must have a salvage title issued for it. However, if the story is true that the vehicle is stolen and ain't nothing wrong with it, you don't get a salvage title. You don't need to. And by the way, you're suggesting that the insurance companies are doing something against their best economic interests. And that's kind of like suggesting that I found an object that defies gravity. I've got a big rock in my front yard and it doesn't like gravity. I got to go outside and tie it down because otherwise it'll just shoot off into space. That's how illogical it is to suggest an insurance company is going to hurt itself economically when it doesn't have to. They have a vehicle that's worth a pile of money and they can take it to an auction and sell it. Or they can ask to have a salvage title issued for it for no reason and then take it to an auction and sell it for a lot less money. Which do you think they're going to do? And by the way, just in case you think insurance companies don't have attorneys on staff reading this stuff, they do. Okay, so the attorneys know about this stuff. I know about this stuff. Now you know about this stuff. The insurance companies aren't stupidly sending undamaged cars off and getting salvage titles for them for no reason. And now I know what some of you are thinking. You're saying, Steve, maybe these other states have got crazy laws where the world's upside down, topsy-turvy, and rocks do shoot off into space from the ground. Maybe I can get a great deal on this car. And it sounds to me like, I've heard of crazier things, And so this guy who's got the notarized letter from the insurance company, I got something better for you. Where's the police report? Why doesn't he have that? Because if the insurance company had the vehicle totaled out and reported stolen and totaled out, they would have gotten a police report. I trust that in most states, because I know they do it here in Michigan, if your vehicle gets stolen and you call them and go, hey, my car just got stolen, they don't go, oh, we believe you. Here, have some money. Here, we'll give you the big bags of money from Steve's last video. will even give you that $100 bill, which for some odd reason he's using as a bookmark in his copy of the Michigan's compiled laws. They have a copy of the police report. Ask to see the police report. So here's the thing. You don't have to take my word on it. You don't have to follow the law. You don't have to believe that law exists. If you are looking at a car on the internet and it says this vehicle was issued a rebuilt salvage title after getting a salvage title for no other reason than it was stolen where no damage was done to it. Somebody somehow stole the car without hurting it in the least. Just go, yeah, I'd like to see the copy of the police report. And watch how they backpedal and go, oh, we don't have a copy of that. No, that's confidential. We don't. It's a thing called the Freedom of Information Act. Freedom of Information Act. You get the VIN and the police department and you order a copy of the report. It's usually about $1 a page, maybe a little bit more with inflation. I don't know. But the point is that the insurance company's got a copy. And if the insurance company's got the time to type up a letter that says, yes, I am the adjuster who oversaw this claim. This car had no damage, and I stupidly applied for a salvage title. And my understanding is now the car's been completely repaired, nothing wrong with it. You should pay full price for it. And I got that notarized. This is my dumb guy typing, by the way. Wouldn't it have been just easier for him to take the file out? Go, oh, here's the file. Oh, here's the file. Here's a police report. Want a copy of that? That would have been too much work. Okay. So again, if you see an ad on Craigslist or eBay and it's touting a car that has a salvage title that's been turned into a rebuilt salvage and there was nothing wrong with the car, if I had to put money on it, I'd say it's more likely that the car's got flood damage or something else that's not as obvious to the naked eye. And they thought to themselves, how can we sell this car without disclosing the salvage vehicle history? And they go, oh, we can disclose. We can just kind of BS about what's wrong with it. Or who knows, maybe the car actually was stolen. But the beautiful thing is the police report's going to show what was on it when they recovered it, such as damage, because they will note damage on the car. So if you find a vehicle on the internet for sale and it's a rebuilt salvage vehicle and the guy goes, look, I can prove to you it was simply stolen, but nothing was harmed in the car. The insurance company acted against their own best interest. They had money in their hands. They said, who cares? Who cares? We throw money flippantly around. I'm not even going to look where that money landed. I don't care. If you think that's the insurance company did, great. But when you call the person up and say, I'm interested in this, go, do you have a copy of the police report? And they should have it. If they don't have it, then you know the jig is up, as they say. But if they do have it, say, can I see it? And if they can actually provide you the police report that says, yes, vehicle recovered, no damage to vehicle, 0. Car was returned in pristine condition and the insurance company got it. Great. Jump on that vehicle. But be aware of the fact that it's got this cloud on its history because it had a salvage title in its past. And when you go to sell the vehicle, you're going to have a hard time with it. Try explaining to the bank there's nothing wrong with it. Try explaining to your insurance company there's nothing wrong with it. You might not be able to get good insurance. You might not be able to get a bank loan on it. But hey, all of this stuff you know now, okay? So again, I'm skeptical of the stolen car with no damage salvage story. But like I said, it's easy enough to disprove or prove. Get a copy of the police report. But ignore the notarized letters and ignore the stories because the stories on their faces don't make sense. Questions or comments, put them below. I'm going to go look for that $100 bill now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.